Awesome, right. Well, last but not least, we've got Karen Bufton. She's going to come and talk about your chance to make a difference to the BOHS. This is her last act as president-elect, so make it count. No pressure. So, anyway,
Thanks,
take it away,
Alex. No pressure. So I'm going to talk to you about volunteering for the BOHS. It's great, there's such a big room and such a big market here. You can make a difference. Firstly, I'm going to start with the definition of a volunteer. You can read it here. It's someone who offers freely to do something without being paid. But what do they look like? What do volunteers look like? Well, they come from all walks of life. They are from the young to the older. They offer different skills. But the thing that they have in common is that they give up their time and do something and volunteer about something they care about. And they have an inner drive to make a difference and to make a change, whether it's running a marathon like last weekend, working in the church, in schools, and so on. As President-elect, you get to go on a tour around the country, and I've been to almost 9 out of 9 regions. I've been to Scotland, Wales, Ireland, East Midlands, Yorkshire, North West, North East, London, South East, East Anglia. I'm just missing the Midlands. And during the presentations, I asked, do any of you volunteer? And of course, some of them did for the BOHS. But they also did other stuff. They worked for other organisations. Some of the Scouts, Map Museum was one, scuba diving, sailing club, drug addiction charities, the church. The BOHS has been really successful over the years, but we still have 13,000 deaths every year, 1.5 million cases of occupational illness, 0.5 new cases every year. We have much to do. The BOHS is well placed to make a difference. But so what have we been doing? Well, since 2011, we've had a strategy. It's got 5 pillars. You can see them all there. We've been very successful, and this is against a background of increasing awareness of the burden of occupational ill health. We've been really successful. Breathe Freely was so successful under the guidance and the volunteering effort of Mike Slater that the EEF came to the BOHS and said, can you do the same in manufacturing? We've had some great conferences. Volunteering efforts there is huge. We've got chartership, and I'm very proud to say I'm a chartered hygienist. We have the courses that relies on engineering, and of course during all that time we've had to make sure we've got an income so that we can continue as the BOHS. So this is our next strategy, 2016 to 20. It's an evolution, not a revolution, but you can see there's lots to do, loads to do. And people in the office can't do it. There's only 20 of them. Lots of you do already volunteer, but we really need your help. But what's in it for you? What can you get out of it? Well, I've only been volunteering a short time, only about 6 years, and I wish I'd started it much earlier. But during that time, I have learnt new skills that I couldn't have learnt in the companies that I worked for. I've met new people. I know who to phone if someone asks me a really tricky question. 6 years ago, I did think, well, I'm going to give back to the profession. But I really wish I'd done it earlier, and I wish I'd done it back in the early days. And I've got a huge sense of achievement, and it's unbelievable how many CPD points you can gather. I think I got over 40 just in a year, and then I thought I'd better stop. It's embarrassing. But what's the downside? Well, it's time. How much time have you got to spare? And when you work with volunteers, they've usually got other jobs, and so it can be a bit frustrating because people don't meet their deadlines and you don't get paid. So the key here is match your skill or the skill you want to develop and how much time you've got. Is it 15 minutes every now and then, or can you give a day a quarter? There's loads of things that you can do. I'm looking for a volunteer to help me review Exposure magazine. It'll take 1 hour every couple of months. So anyone wants to do it, come and see me after. Key here is don't wait to be asked. I used to think that you had to be an eminent professor, researcher, academia, but you don't. It can be at any stage of your career. You can be a beginner in hygiene. Just identify what skills you've got, estimate the time you have available, and contact the BOHS membership team. here are their details, or come and talk to me. So what do BOHS volunteers look like? Well, they come from industry, they come from the regulator, they come from academia. They start from the younger hygienists, as I mentioned, to those with much more experience. But the key thing about all of them is that they have a cause, they have a need, and they want to make a difference. Some of them spend not very much time, and others spend a great deal of time. They all want to make a difference, and they all want to change this awful trend in occupational illness. So I've got you here, all of you in one room. So please think about what you could do to help the BOHS and make a real difference in reducing occupational illness. Thank you very much.